So, what happened when you came to a Rainbow Circle camp? Well, theoretically, you left your car in the car park and you went down and put up your tent and went and had supper at the Golden Moon. A lot of cars started to appear on site after a while, but not for the first few years. Um, anyway, in the mornings, there would be a morning circle. At first, this worked really well. Maybe about 10 o'clock in the morning, I would go round with a conch or a bell or not a school bell, and just a little tinkle, um, Tibetan bells, um, waking people up at about 9 o'clock so that they could get ready to be at the meeting at 10 o'clock. And then I would go around going, morning meeting, morning meeting. Um, and at first, everyone would come to the meeting, almost everyone. And the meetings were they were very dynamic and very good. But when you've got a lot of nighttime activity, it tends to be that people don't get up that early. And so the meetings started to be at 11 o'clock. And then they started to be at 12 o'clock. And then the day was sort of short. But it didn't really matter because loads of stuff went on anyway. There was yoga in the mornings. There was the dance of life to bring in the sun. There was all sorts of healing groups went on all the time. Children's activities. There was music. Was drumming circles. No matter what camp it was, it didn't seem to matter. These other activities completely. Sorry?
Circle dancing?
Oh, circle dancing, yes, circle dancing, of course. All these other activities, they completely, they just happened no matter what camp it was. The circle dancing was brilliant, actually. That was Tara. Tara was such a good teacher. She taught us all how to do lots of different amazing circle dancing, and she's still at it. And she's 82. She's still there teaching her circle dancing, and I really honour her for that.
And the chanting in the
So
big lodge?
yes, oh yeah, that's right. So the big lodge. Now the big lodge is quite a responsibility. If you are the big lodge keeper, you have to chop the wood. You have to first of all get the wood, then you have to saw it up and chop it, and keep the fire going, and make sure the smoke flaps are in the right place, and get the water. So there's quite a bit to do if you're the big lodge keeper. But it did get done, and the big lodge was always there, it was available, and there was often, particularly in the evenings, there would be singing in the big lodge at 8 o'clock, and it would just go on and on and on. And it could go on whether it was good or bad weather, which was really a great advantage since we were in England and sometimes in Wales. Yes, there were fire circles at night. There was always a big main fire, the central fire. It was the heart of the camp. And it would be in the centre of the flag circle, usually, but not always, but usually. And we would sit around it at night, and there would be cocoa and coffee and sharing of bits and pieces, biscuits and cakes, and people would take the energy for a while. So there'd be 2 or 3 people maybe who'd do a sort of session of 2 or 3, sometimes 4 chants and songs, and get the whole circle involved, but they would be holding it. But then the energy would pass to somebody else, and something else would be happening. Maybe it would be a music session, and maybe it would be dancing. And then we'd come back to more chanting, and we'd come back to more storytelling. It was just a lovely organic energy that happened around the fire almost every night, if it wasn't raining too hard.
And of course the children's story time.
Oh gosh, I'd forgotten about that because I didn't get involved with the children's story time. But it was amazing. It was 6 o'clock, wasn't it? Was it in the big lodge?
Yeah. And
Yeah. Oh yes, that's right. It was in the big lodge and they had cocoa. So it was, well, it was hot chocolate it was called, I think. Hot chocolate in the big lodge and storytelling at 6 o'clock for the children before they went to bed at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock or midnight.
but they still go around going, story time in the big lodge, don't forget your mug.
Yeah,
They still do that.
do they? Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's that's really lovely.
And and these are 3rd and 4th generation children.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. Wow. Wow. No, that's great. It's lovely to know that. Yeah. Are there anything other things that still, all those traditions that we had that still continue?
Still the circle dancing, yes.
Still circle
Which
dancing.
is it's to me that is the heart of the camp, because
Ah,
we have a live one in the morning with live musicians.
Ah.
So you have the band,
mm,
circle dance band. You have half an hour in the morning before the morning meeting, and then you have an hour and a half in the evening in the main marquee. It happens every evening.
wow. That's stunning.
Diarmid.
David. Oh, wow. I remember David very well. Gosh. Good on him.
Yeah,
That's
it's the best
brilliant.
part of the camp for
I
me.
bet it is. Because he's very organised
And
and
you
very
wouldn't be-
together.
And you wouldn't believe how popular it's become.
Oh, I would.
The circles can now. We're struggling to get in the big marquee. There's so many people come to the circle dancing.
Wow. That's amazing. How big is the big marquee?
Oh, it's a 3-polar.
What?
A 3-polar.
Oh, right. So it's sort of 60 by 30. That's pretty big. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, even though there were specific craft camps, that craft happened on every camp.
Yes, that's right. It started off being quite focused on a particular subject, but as the years went on, the people who came brought themselves and their skills and they shared them. And it was lovely. It did, you could say that it took the focus off the subject matter. And if you had, like, for instance, one year I did a camp about the Celestine prophecies, yeah. And I did a lot of work on that. I had loads of things to say, but actually, most of the time, there weren't really very many people who were interested in sharing about the Celestine prophecies. They wanted to have the camp. And, although at the time it's like, oh, all that work. And it's like, it's not really being very appreciated. But then you think, hang on, that is just the bait. And what we're actually doing is the camp. And that's what we want to appreciate, that we have done, that we have actually created all this amazing energy that people come to because they want to be part of that energy. It's not that they want to learn about this or that or the other. They just want to be part of that energy. And that is great. And I have to say, it is one of the most subversive things that you can possibly do.
Say a bit more.
Well, when you think about how most people live their lives in little boxes and grey suits, to come out and experience freedom is extremely liberating. It may not have that effect initially, but over the years, it changes people's attitudes and behavior. And that is what is needed. We need to get away from all this political hierarchy trip. And the way to do that is to know how to have a good time, know how to enjoy just being, being with other people, being in nature, being part of the joyfulness of the world. And that's what we need. And that was what the camps did. Sorry.
And being in circle.
Oh, yeah. And being in circles, yes. That wasn't much of a circle. One of the main things that people experienced on the camps, which they hadn't often experienced at all in their lives, was the way that everything was done in circles. We would have a circle to talk about this and a circle to talk about that. And even if you had just a small group of people, there would be a circle. If you had a large group of people, there would be a circle. And maybe it wasn't possible for everybody to speak in a circle, although there were the talking circles, talking stick circles, where everybody got that opportunity to speak, no matter how many people were in the circle and no matter how long it took. Everybody had that opportunity to speak. And that is really important. So many people have no opportunity to express what they want to say about this, that, or the other. And to have that opportunity of being passed the stick, you are now in control of what happens in that circle and you can speak. And that was a very liberating experience for a lot of people. The whole way in which the circular energy manifests is completely antithetical to the hierarchical world that we live in at the